Good day, and thank you for choosing to watch this video. The statement, F1 teams are vomit bags for angry Formula One drivers. We are the trash bin, the vomit bags in an airplane, said Toto Wolff. Yesterday, after I recorded a video where I called Toto a clown, hours passed. I somewhat felt bad that maybe he didn't merit me calling him a clown. But after having read such a statement, I repeat, F1 teams are vomit bags for angry Formula One driver, which translates, the Mercedes team was a vomit bag for angry Lewis Hamilton. I have an answer now to why. To answer a question I asked prior, why were so many talented staff members of the Mercedes team decided to join Red Bull, despite the fact that the Mercedes team was still the world champion? It is certainly Toto Wolff, his attitude toward his team. Could you imagine the guy I call Christian Spice Horner ever making such a statement after such an amazing drive from Lewis Hamilton? Imagine that was Max Verstappen, who made such an amazing effort. To no fault of his own, he lost the race. I've never, ever seen Christian Spice Horner not defend his team entirely to the limit. You know what? That explains why maybe so many members of the Mercedes team decided to leave the Mercedes team to join Red Bull. Toto is for sure. That statement for me confirms what I said and had felt after what he did yesterday. I wanted to go back to why I said what I said. My issue was the fact that Toto, very experienced, very intelligent, knows the reaction and the side effect of having someone directly behind you with fresh, soft tires behind someone with used, medium tires. The fact that he allowed George Russell, a rookie, after the 8 times rightful world champion, the greatest ever in Formula One, because supposedly George had asked or defy team orders and say, no, I will not be on the mediums. I will go on to the soft, because obviously he knew Toto would approve it. George Russell, for me, that made him a selfish and shouldn't have never been given that opportunity. And even Damien Hill agreed, and many others agreed, that what Toto did was not right. It wasn't right. If I may remind you, many of you know that I remember in 2005, I attended the Indianapolis Grand Prix, US Grand Prix, and at the time, Formula One had 2 tire suppliers. Some teams were under Michelin tires, the other teams were under Bridgestone tires. It just so happened there were only 4 teams and a Ferrari that were under Bridgestone, and the remaining teams were under Michelin's. If you know Indy, they do a reverse run with the Formula One cars. Turn 13 precedes a 92-second full throttle, and the Michelin tires were imploding, and therefore all Michelin cars were banned from competing. At that race, Michael Schumacher and 4 other teams raced. Michael Schumacher and Ferrari. Michael Schumacher's teammate was Ruben Barrichello. If you want to know what team orders like, rightfully, for the respect that Ferrari had given to Michael Schumacher, he's the only driver that one could legally say could reasonably be compared to Lewis Hamilton's success. At that race, Schumacher made a mistake and had a bad start. I was there at the end of the race, towards the end. Despite the fact that Schumacher was leading the championship, Ferrari pulled Barrichello, told him to slow down and be passed by Michael Schumacher and to finish first and let Barrichello finish second. At that race, Michael Schumacher was booed so hard, he was so embarrassed that he dragged Barrichello on the top step with him. I don't have to tell Toto how to do his job. What he did yesterday was insulting to everyone who's been following Formula One. It was wrong. It shows what I always seen from the very beginning about Russell. Russell, in my opinion, I've seen it at every time he's exposed to the media. He's media hungry, and he's way more comfortable around Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz. And it's nothing to do with age. It's your teammate. We all know, we remember what Bottas' relationship was to Lewis Hamilton. Some say your first mission as a Formula One driver is to beat your teammate. I laughed at it because he was obviously beaten, which is why he was behind Lewis Hamilton. If he qualified ahead of Hamilton, he would have been ahead of Hamilton. He was running behind Hamilton, and it wasn't fair for Toto to disrespect Lewis Hamilton by putting Russell on softer tires. He should have remembered Abu Dhabi. I went on to say yesterday's race was more like Abu Dhabi 2021. Toto knows what it's like when you put someone on softer tires to finish a race. I personally am now certain that Toto Wolff, maybe not just Toto by himself, because you know what? Ever since the old leadership of Mercedes has retired the CEO, I have yet to see the current CEO. Maybe he does attend races, but I haven't seen him like the old CEO has done, while always present around the pit and talking to Sir Lewis Hamilton. You always see Helmut Marko around Verstappen, each and every time for the support. You know, I go back to 2021, how I felt, how Toto Wolff, you know, it was said and shared by many YouTubers, including my friend F. Wonderful, who mentions, why did Toto Wolff send a congratulation to Max Verstappen even before the FIA had decided whether or not to pursue the hearing regarding Max Verstappen's victory? I didn't forgive. I was suspicious of Toto, but you know what made me get over it? It was a tweet of one page that Toto's wife, Susie Wolff, had sent. If you never seen it, I responded to that tweet. That page was emotional, was real, and for that I've forgiven Toto and his family, because Susie is absolutely genuine. And if you know Susie, you can know that Susie and Lewis Hamilton had raced against each other in their early years. This statement that Toto just made, and then he went on to say the issue was resolved right after. We talked about it. You know, we discussed the risk. Tell me what race that a Formula One team doesn't have a certain proposed strategy. Because you don't know the outcome, that's why you have a proposed strategy. Just in case of this, then this goes on. Toto, in my opinion, forced Lewis Hamilton to apologize yesterday at the media press conference. You can see how uncomfortable Lewis Hamilton felt. I'm not a psychologist, but I can tell on Lewis Hamilton, who I've seen for many years now, his body language. He said, I didn't even know what I said. He apologized to the team. He didn't need to apologize to the team. He didn't say anything that's beyond the realm of what was reasonable. Max Verstappen is often heard with F-bombs after F-bombs. I've never heard his manager, that is Christian Spice Horner, make an issue or not defend him. Toto insulted, disrespected the fans, including me and many of you who know the sport for a long time. There's no way that George Russell should have been put on soft tires to beat Lewis Hamilton. His mission is clear to me. His bragging right is that he actually beat Lewis Hamilton his first year. I'm still flabbergasted that Toto went on to say this after what he did yesterday. It's a follow-up to my yesterday's video. I'm grateful. Can't wait to hear what he thinks. For me, Toto is indeed a clown. Thank you for watching. God bless you.